What's up, guys, and welcome to my reviews for Loki, Season 2, Episodes 5 and 6. Mainly, my review of the finale, and, if I think the MCU is in shambles, as many people are saying that I'm reading, for sure. So, I apologize I wasn't able to post a separate video for episode 5. Had a lot on my plate, had a lot going on. Watched them back to back tonight. And I think that was pretty good that I was able to do that because the cliffhanger at the end of 4 was like, you don't know what's going to happen next. The cliffhanger at the end of 5, you can kind of have an idea, sort of. So I feel like waiting a week for that would have been like very hard to do. So watching them back to back. So in 5, he sort of reassembles the team. He's time slipping because the thing, from what I understand, is how they fixed it in the end of the first episode. When the thing blew up at the end of the fourth episode, it destroyed it. So he's now slipping again. So I said, okay, so it kind of makes sense. This is the way I put it together. And he reassembles the team. So he slips through time, gets all these, Mobius, B-15, KC, Ouroboros, and he gets them all together to to try to fix a problem. The TVA is now gone, and he's got to fix it. At the same time, he's flipping back and forth like crazy. So, in this episode, he basically learns how to harness the power. I don't know if it's a power, but he learns how to harness time slipping. So he's able to do it. And then he goes into the next episode, and we all go into the next episode saying, okay, he's figured it out. So he can time slip as many times as he needs until they fix the problem. So he's slipping his back, as far as to when they're in the elevator from the end of the first season. He's slipping to the point where you have Mobius and Loki talking in the interrogation room for the first season. He's trying to get answers. So in this finale, he's bouncing through time to try to figure out what to do. Now that he can harness the power of time, what does he need? He needs time. They need more time. Well, guess what? He's got an unlimited amount of time. He takes a century to become a mathematician or whatever the hell he's able to do, and there's so many things that happen in the episode. Uh, that especially in the fifth episode, I'll mention the jet ski stuff. We finally get to see Mobius on a jet ski, and you get the cool slow motion the first time we see him on it. So that was a payoff. That was very cool. But this version of him is a single father, 2 kids. So it all sort of comes around to where you know Timely does it, but he's temporarily done it. The thing is going to blow up anyway. So no matter what happens, it's the same fate. But what I think He Who Remains didn't set a path for and didn't see was for, when Loki goes and he's talking to him and he has the whole conversation with him, which I thought was really cool. And I thought, is he going to kill Sylvie? And I was kind of saying, do it, kill her, kill Sylvie. I know you care about her, but kill her, and save everybody. I mean, she's been a punk the whole time. I think she's just a troublemaker. So he should have done that as a character, character moment, but he didn't. And he finally says, and he decides to sacrifice himself. And he says, "I know what kind of god I need to be." So he says, "I'm gonna go out there and harness the power of all these timelines, and I'm gonna hold them all together, and I'm gonna be the glue. Your big piece with the rings in the middle is destroyed. Well, guess what? I'm gonna go out there and hold them together myself." So I thought that was pretty sad, actually. I thought the way it ended was like it was very sad, but very bittersweet. Um, to see now Mobius leave the TVA, which obviously he's could come back. The seat's open for him, um, and he's just watching his his self basically live this life to see what he's been protecting. So that was really sweet. And the way it ends, Loki seeing that everybody's happy because of him. So the glorious purpose, which I actually think is the title of the first episode, it turns out his arc, his glorious purpose was to save everyone in a crazy sense, very much like Tony Stark. His glorious purpose was to save everyone. So they have a similar fate. They have a similar fate to where Loki doesn't die, but he's, you know, I don't know how we're gonna get him out of there. How are we gonna get him out of there? Probably not. Is he stuck? Can he just connect the pieces and then go? What's gonna happen? I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But this. So let me touch on this quickly. Do I think the MCU is in shambles? And what are my thoughts on the MCU moving forward? If you're curious, yes, what is this damn thing called? The Marvels. That did open today. Whenever you're watching this, Friday the 10th. Was it the 10th? Friday the 10th. It opened. I'm probably not going to be able to see it until Thursday the 16th, I believe it is. Um, that's just how it is when you have a 7-month-old in the house. When you can get out, you can do it. So that's where we're at. And that's if you're curious why I review all these films so late and when they come on Blu-ray and streaming and stuff, well, guess what? That's what I have to do now. But from everything that we're hearing going into the Marvels and this Loki finale, which I don't think really sets up the MCU in any way, I can assume that you know he who remains, he dies, and Sylvie kills him, and then we're put back into that moment in the present to where Loki sacrifices himself. So I think it all did play out. I think all the events played out. So we've just got a bunch of Kang variants who are still out there. And the whole meaning of this season was from the first thing. Time slipping, the branches are all screwing up because she killed He Who Remains. We've got to fix that. That was the story of the season. This was not about fighting Kang, even though at the end of the first season, the beginning of this is like we gotta prepare for war and all this. He's set on war. They all say, okay, wait, we got to figure out what's at hand first, and that's what this whole season's about. So they don't really play into what's going to happen with the Kang variants, which I thought maybe they would, but they didn't. The only thing they played out was with Victor Timely, who is at the TVA still, right? I mean, what's going to happen there? I mean, is he just going to stay there? Well, who's he? What's he going to do? Right? I don't know. We didn't really see him in the epilogue, so because he does it successfully, and then Loki goes out. So who knows what's going to happen with him? He's still up there. If he's there, I missed it at the end, but regardless, uh, I thought Miss Minutes might have a big part to play in the multiverse saga now, but looks like she's just reprogrammed. I don't know. So I feel like this season 2 was very self-contained, even though it was dealing with all these bigger things. I felt like it was very self-contained, which I didn't mind. But what's going to happen? So we're going to watch the Marvels. Good or bad movie, it's setting up things for the future. So are we in shambles currently? I think people are saying that because of the quality of stuff. So no, I do not think the MCU is in shambles. I think that I mean, Secret Invasion, I didn't put a review out for it, but I did watch it, and I thought it was not great. It started off promising, but by the end of it, I wasn't really a big fan, and how those characters are going to turn out, who the hell knows where we're going to go with that, but didn't really care for that show too much. Thor: Love and Thunder, didn't really care for it, but it didn't bomb the MCU for me. We still have a story to build on. So I don't think it's in shambles because the overall story hasn't been told yet. I mean, this is the multiverse saga. Now we're halfway through Phase 5, maybe. I don't know how far. Maybe not halfway through, but we're into Phase 5. And we don't really have a clear cut to what's going to happen. But think again. So let's say we're in the middle of Phase 2, and we're before Age of Ultron and all that stuff. Do we have a clear cut what's going to happen? No, we don't. We don't really have a clear cut what's going to happen until, I don't know, but they tease Infinity Stones throughout the films, so it made sense. Here, they're teasing Kang variants. So I think we just have to be patient. We might get a couple bad things here or there, but I think what we're waiting for will pay off. That's just me. So that's where I'm at with it. That's my thoughts on it. So, guys, comment down below. Firstly, about Loki season 2, which I can't see them doing another season. Like I said, how the hell is he gonna? He's stuck. He's now overseeing. He is now like the timekeeper in a way. So we'll see. But what are your thoughts on the whole thing? And what are your thoughts on the MCU? Are you excited for the future? I sure am. Even if I don't like the film, the Marvels, I am still very much looking forward to Captain America 4, Deadpool 3, which is now going to be an MCU film. So I'm excited about that. And the future of it. The Avengers films that are coming out, all of it, the Thunderbolts thing, I'm looking forward to the progression of the story. So I just don't think we have enough progression of the story to say that it's in shambles yet. So leave that down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Look, I've got King's Corner episodes. If you're curious, what the hell is the King's Corner? Well, it's a weekly. Sometimes I post 2 in a week. A movie review show where I just sit here and I talk about a couple different films in one video. And I post it and I call it the King's Corner. So check that out. We've just posted one. We talked about Dumb Money, Gran Turismo, It Lives Inside. Depending on when you're watching this, Haunting in Venice, that might not be up yet. Be up soon, depending. So yeah, bunch of stuff, bunch of fun stuff. Got the Marvels coming out, like I said. We're gonna be doing a review for that. So yeah, so that's where we're at, guys. Follow me on Twitter and or X. I still call it Twitter. At RyanKing72, and Instagram and TikTok at KingRises131. Guys, that's been it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this one, and until next time, over and out.